Stygian run then? No, I'm gonna go with random. It's not just Stygian that has a lot of cards missing from the Divine Mastery. We are playing Primordium with Stygian Secondary Clan. Foreground Powers, Plinks, and Primordium itself. Making of a Mortal Crypt build on Prism Retrieval make up our starting deck. If we can reliably land a Prism Retrieval on Primordium, that would be pretty fun, but that requires us not to play it in the first place. Daedalus with Explosive Sigil fell with, well, that's Extinguish, fell with Scorches, and Seraph with Consume. We have 2 relics at the start. I always like these starts. Forgotten Name and Titan's Claws. We have Plinks. Does that make us Plinks and Crypt Builders? Okay, it's Forgotten Name then. What do we want? What do we want Primordium to do in this run? We don't really have access to great buffs with Superfood. Faulty Loader, I do like it. Mask of Penumbra though. That is extra draw. We do have these makings of a morsel. Let's pick it up. Aggressive Edible and Stalwart Snack. With no stat buffs in these clans, Stalwart Snack just doesn't seem worth it. Is there anything that will make Stalwart Snack be really worth it in these clans? Like Umbra itself has nothing really. Unless we go with something like... oh, wow. Oh, did I? Apparently I cut myself. It's just a very tiny cut, so I'm not sure where it comes from. It's not bleeding or anything, but it hurts a little. Yeah, there are just no good buffs for that option. Stygian? Stygian doesn't have stat buffs. It's a bit of a shame. I feel like Stalwart Snack is only useful with exactly Awoken. Maybe Wormkin actually. Well, yeah, Wormkin. Wormkin gives us another use for Stalwart Snack. Wormkin has great buffs. But anyway, let's go with Aggressive Edible. That gives us the damage to push through. At least early. Mark of Invasion. I'm just hoping that I draw a Plink in the first turn, and then we should be good. That is 2 Plinks. Start working on these guys with some morsels. We don't have anyone who can eat a morsel miner, so there's no real reason to play it. There is our buffed enemy. We can play everything here. I'm gonna plink the top floor. That was the wrong order. Now we might not be able to kill, to play everything here anymore. Yep. Well, that sucked. Let's try to find something useful here. Nope, not what I wanted. We take 1. Lifesteal is great. Probably the best one we could have gotten. That's a 5 health bar. So we can't even kill that one even if we wanted to. Lifesteal and damage shield means you will actually deal some pretty reasonable damage there. What are Plink's doing now? 4? Just don't want to discount the foregone power. Oh, that's perfect. We can get the kill here. Pack morsel, perils of production, space prism. I don't mind space prism here. Perils, also not a bad option, but I think we want to go with space prism. Offering token, mollusk mage. I wanna have fun with mollusk mage for once. Just one time. Umbra unit. Or Stygian unit with spell upgrades. We do have a lot of morsels. We would benefit from one of the... We would benefit from pretty much any Gorger. Endless, huh? Alloyed Construct we could go with. It's not the one I wanted. Not because I don't think it's good, I think it's really good, but I have done that before. Maybe for once we use Alloy Construct's Essence instead. Golden Wall, Teeth of Gold and Totem Fragment. I like Golden Wall a lot, I hate Teeth of Gold, it's garbage and probably the worst relic in the game on average. We take Totem Fragment. It's not that bad. It's still usable, but it's not much more than usable. High Priest to the Light. Armor 10 for a unit draft. That will make it harder for us to plink enemies. Much harder actually. So we have to rely on making of a morsel and primordium to feed our construct. I think that works, but it's a bit tight. It's definitely a bit tight. Set you up on the top and try to hit the crypt builder there. Nice. If we discard anything but the crypt builder, that would be fine. No, anything but the foregone power, I mean. Yep. I figured I would play first. I also should have played it on this floor actually, so I could get the collector if I did hit the crypt builder. Was only the crypt builder hit, but maybe this is fine. That is a kill actually. We need both of these, but every morsel is important here. That's not nice. Okay, we got some morsels out of this. That should give me enough fuel to last. Well, we have another one at least. That was how much? 8 damage? 7 damage? I think that's acceptable. We have 2 turns of combat, that's 240 damage, we are fine. 2 available? Sure. It's only 25 damage, but still worth it. And even if we only had 1 fuel, the frostbite could have helped us there, so we would only take 1 hit to the boss. Pack morsels and Umbra salt now become a bit more important. And Umbra salt does benefit from the spell power magic weakness. So does Mind Collapse actually. Spell weakness and magic power. The other way around. Pack morsels could be good after Primordium gets eaten. I'm gonna take the pack morsels here. Titan's Gratitude. We have a lot of random discard, but I do like the card quite a bit. There's also a Cuddle Hex. I'm gonna go with Titan's Gratitude though. Lodestone Totem, Morsel Master, and Silo Fight. Could see a Morsel Master being useful. I could see a Lodestone Totem being quite useful as well. I'm gonna go with the Totem for now. Oh, Divine Artifact. Divine Winged Steel, Divine Temper. I'm gonna take the Divine Temper Talisman because the next fight is gonna be Daedalus, and I'm a little bit worried. Not too much, but just enough. Firewall and check strips. Hi Maxwell. Firewall and check strips. What do we want here? Check strips is still pretty decent. I haven't taken it a lot recently. I want to see its power again. Siren of the Sea and Cold Celia. We could give Siren of the Sea the alloyed construct. It's a unit with inherent scaling, and it's cheaper to play than the alloy construct as well. So I think it's a better wielder of the inert multi-strike Gorge combo. But Cold Celia has sweep. Isn't that even better? I use Cold Celia so much though. Let's go with some other sirens instead. I feel like the Incant Shell is something I am a little unsure about. Persia Train Steward here. Umbra or Stygian. Either one could be really good here. I think I have a better set to make use of Stygian rares. Spike of the Stygian though? I'm gonna take it, but I'm unsure whether or not we need it. It will help us deal with bosses for sure. We do have a Divine Temple after Daedalus, so that's when we are gonna upgrade the Siren. Not right now. Well, obviously not right now, because we can't. We literally are not capable of doing it right now. I think I keep the pack morsels in the deck for later. And we play the morsel first, so we can get it eaten. Sadly, we're out of energy, so Prison Retrieval wouldn't do anything for us. That's a bomb on the top floor, and we have no morsels right now or anything to put in front except for the Lodestone Totem. Lodestone Totem is also pretty difficult to actually utilize right now. Maybe I just play Crypt Builder. Although a Titan's Gratitude is already enough and has a chance to discard the Crypt Builder instead. So that's a better play. Kinda wanna play a big spike of the Stygian on Daedalus, but it doesn't have to be right now. Let's do this instead. Get our magic power. This is looking alright. We need some morsels. 2 plinks. There will be 18 damage per hit. You need 2 hits, you need 3 hits, so we almost get 1 kill. Always get a 1 kill, but never 2. On the bottom floor we would always get 2 kills at least. More likely 3 or 4. Put you in front actually. We did take out the bomb, so the bottom floor lives. The damage on these guys would have been more valuable, but we have enough damage on the construct. You died to the spikes on Daedalus. Daedalus has spikes 1. It's not something that matters that often, but for these morsels it definitely does. Well, now these plinks are 16 damage a hit, 24 actually. If we double hit the frontliner, that will get us the kill there. Again, the attacking morsels will die to Daedalus spikes. The non-attacking morsels, on the other hand, are fine to play out. I think we... the Plink could actually kill the frontliner. That would be kind of nice. Sure, let's do it. Nice. You know what? I think we just set up... Never mind. I was about to say we just set up the lodestone totem, but the spike here is much better. We almost didn't need our construct there. Umbra Stone forever consumed Shroud Spike. If we had a way to make a unit really, really big, then I would love Umbra Stone. Shroud Spike could be good though. Forever consumed is good. Should probably take that one, right? Uncertain about this, but I am gonna go with it. Shadow Eater, Morsel Maker, and another Siren of the Sea. So let's assume we put that alloy construct into the Siren of the Sea. We have 2 somewhat well scaling, but actually not that fast scaling hits. With an aggressive edible we can get her to be like 60, 70 damage per hit on turn 3 for the next 3 rings. That is acceptable and will probably get us through. But what after that? We have to make heavy use of spells to clear our enemies. Can we go for a second floor with a morsel maker and a gorge unit? We could go for an Umbra banner, that is certainly an option, but I kinda wanna go for the Merchant of Magic. Unless I wait for the next floor instead, where we have to skip not just an Unstable Vortex, but also a Hurzel's Horde. Do we have a Great Duke target? Not really that great, but a Space Prism could be okay. There is another Merchant of Magic here. There are no Merchant of Steels at all between here and Fell. That worries me because I don't have any unit upgrades yet and we won't get any for a while. So we kinda have to rely on the power of our spells. Does that mean we need to pick draw? Crypt Builders are expensive, but we can sometimes discard them. Forever Consumed is expensive. Lodestone Totem is expensive. We have a lot of expensive cards. Do we want Fell's Remorse for that reason? We already have some draw in the Mask of Penumbra. Yeah, we'll take a Fell's Remorse here. Let's take a look at the temple. We have a value stone in here as well as a true stone. That can help a lot with our energy management. Right now it looks like aggressive edible is just the way to go. And then we do this weird fusion that I talked about. We put the alloy construct into the Siren of the Sea. I am not entirely comfortable with that. But I guess it's just what we have right now. Value Stone could go on Forever Consumed, Spike of the Stygian, Crypt Builder. It's pretty flexible. Let's look at what we have here. Consume Removal could easily go on Pack Morsels. I do like Consume Remove Pack Morsels quite a bit. Magic damage I think goes on the Titan's Gratitude for first. Get that one to triple its damage with a single upgrade. A cheap upgrade at that. Let's get the Pack Morsels cost reduced. And then reroll. Holdover. Now this is interesting. We could hold over a Making of a Morsel with cost reduction. Gives us some decent stack growth and make sure we will always have fuel. We could hold over a Crypt Builder with a Value Stone, but then we don't give it spell power, and at that point what are we really doing with it? We have the Mollusk Mage, so that could help. We could hold over Forever Consumed with a Value Stone that is always 60 damage for free and can be scaled up. But 60 damage doesn't matter that much by the end game. In that regard, it might be better to hold over the Titan's Gratitude, but that makes Foregone Powers a lot more awkward, because I will always have at least one random discard spell in hand. I think the magic power goes on a Crypt Builder. 75 will be mostly enough to deal with most things that we are going to face in the next ring. 60 is a bit more borderline in that regard. Do we not hold over anything? Is that what we're going for? No, I think we put it on the Making of a Morsel. That is some safety, especially in terms of... Actually, let's do this, right? Or is that better on a Blink? Is it better on something that can hit backliners? But yeah, it might yeah. It can sometimes hit backliners. I'll take it on the Titan's Gratitude. It does matter on frontliners as well. There are spell shields, there are armor guys. This can take out the sharded armor guys pretty easily with 100 health and 130 armor. I think we do take the just straight up 60 from that for free. If that's what we need. We are pretty high on shards right now, so we have to be careful in this fight. Maybe we have to skip the spikes so we can more easily feed morsels. No, no. I think the random artifact is valuable and I think we can deal with the spikes well enough. It means we can't set up on the bottom floor for certain. Otherwise Primordium would just die. We do have an okay top floor setup. If we do the whole setup, we are basically saying we will only feed Primordium for the first few turns. But that might just be okay. And then we incant. Or do we actually frostbite these? No, we don't frostbite these. They have regen. We would just heal it back up anyways. I want to play the Crypt Builder. But it's not even enough to kill the Light Harnesser. Blink isn't enough to kill the Collector either. So we can't get the Collector, so we don't need to worry about getting the Collector. So we just play everything. We play everything anyways. Get some damage in against these guys. Which the healer heals back up. Oops. We can't blink anyone for value. So we blink here before we play the Crypt Builder. Getting this guy low might help us quite a bit. And now it's time to cast some spells on the top floor to actually zap these enemies. Otherwise we will die here. We still die? It's 14. Yeah, due to the spikes. Just barely. Nice. That was a really good draw. We want to play the Foreground Power. We also want to play a morsel. We zap this guy again, so the morsel actually survives the hit. That Zap Totem is gonna be a big part of our defense this fight, in general. In this fight and in general, rather. We can zap these units down to the ground. And by that I mean down to 0 attack. The X spells and Titan's Gratitude get in each other's way a bit here. We do need to kill one of these. Nice, we managed to avoid discarding the X cost. What can we fish for? Mollusk Mage or a Train Steward. I would gladly take a Mollusk Mage here, but oh well, that at least means we're not drawing the Train Steward. That means one more spell to draw. Mollusk Mage all the way in the back. If I do play the Spike of the Stygian, I can play my whole hand, trigger as many incants as I want. This is the 175 Crypt Builder, while 100 and... Oh yeah, we have enough damage for stuff like that now with the Mollusk Mage. Then we play 2 more spells, so you go down to 6. Unless we play 3 more spells instead. Yeah, let's go for the incants. Our Siren is pretty strong. That is nice. 390. It's a good amount of damage, certainly. Oh, that's not a bad draw. We only get to effectively use one of those. Well, it doesn't matter unless we get lifesteal, then the health is better than the block. Can get 6 damage in against you. Better than nothing. Okay. Another Blink. That's not very helpful. We need to play this for none, actually. We can just play out these on the top floor and then kill you for free. Get another incant. You're doing 28, you gain another 5 attack. You're actually killing our Siren pretty quickly. So we need a bit of incant here. I would like to discount the morsel here. Alright, we had the totem fragment online. Conscription notice. Can't hurt. It can. It's just very unlikely to. Engine upgrade. Cannibalize or Ember Cache. I'm going with Ember Cache. Ice Storm. Ice Storm is a great spell to benefit from our Forgotten Name and Mollusk Mage. Unnamed Tome, on the other hand, could be very helpful to avoid incant triggers and Scorch triggers. It's pretty useful in general in the Divinity fight, because there will always be some Harvest and incant units that can be quite annoying. Ice Storm would really shine with a Spell Piercing upgrade. I'm going for the Tome though. We don't have the money to buy relics. But we get a free relic and 2 free removals. That is all the value I need from this side. Oh, the first hell pact, I would love that. Wing Technology. Yeah, I think we take that. The damage shield allows us to play on the top floor now in the Divinity fight, which is very helpful in general. These Crypt Builders, not sure if they really need that much damage. Ember Cache could be intrinsic. Space Prism should be intrinsic. Do we want to put the Mollusk Mage into the Lodestone Totem? It's basically, we gain the whole unit basically. Saves us a slot and helps drawing it early. Because Lodestone Totem is a priority unit, unlike Mollusk Mage itself. Is it still Train Stewards we cut? I really don't like these Foregone Powers much. I think we're better off cutting one Foregone Power in the Train Steward. At least the Train Stewards don't get in our way when we play the second cycle. Well, sometimes they will, because we can't always play all of them. Self-Made Harpy. This means we really need the Lodestone Totem out. That makes taking this trial a bit harder. But we do have the Jack Strips. Worst case, we take 8 damage on our frontliner. And then they all die to the top. But what if our frontliner is the Lodestone Totem or Primordium? That just means we play Prism Retrieval turn 1. No, we zap them. We just zap them. Or we block with a Branded Warrior. Well, there are plenty of options that work here. Definitely play the Prism Retrieval. Oh, we found the Siren. Branded Warrior is kind of useless here. Can't really protect it. These guys all have 14 damage, so we need to be ready for those. A Plink will actually destroy them. Destroy the one it hits at least. Still worth playing. This wave is a concern. I always hate these frontliners in the back setups. I think we have to start working on these guys. I will actually generate a morsel here with the damage shield in front. Put that one down as well so we can get another one down with the Branded Warrior. I thought he was useless, but he's actually kind of helping. We don't need a lot of stuff here. Let's play these guys out. With this Plink I'm comfortable doing this. Ember Cash should go out as well. This wave is no problem, I don't think. The backliners are buffed up, so it could be a problem, but this one is worse. By far. The Shard enhanced tanky frontliner. Well, we can sap them a little bit at least. And we can silence them. Which means their extinguish won't trigger and this backliner won't just hurt our pyre really hard. Oh! Oh, that helps. That helps a ton. And we don't even have to take damage here. And we can actually start working on these guys instead. And 3 of these guys, that is no problem, right? Worst case, the offering... No, the Lodestone Totem will hit this Sycophant and it will die to the check strips. This is the worst case scenario. We can also have Plinks. Don't want to kill this Sycophant in the back. Giving the Self-Made Harpy even more damage with his multi-strike 8. Nah, that is too much. That is far too much. So we blink on the top floor, where we get the 2 guaranteed kills. Block the damage with the morsels. We don't need to play the pack morsels, but we might as well. Play these guys here on the bottom. Not like they do anything here. Kill the frontliner, I guess, so we can have access to the Self-Made Harpy with our spells. Self-Made Harpy is dealing... Oh yeah, that guy would die anyways. I forgot about that. Self-Made Harpy is dealing 81 a turn. I am so glad we have this Lodestone Totem sitting around. Not so happy to burn through these things. I would have liked if some were still left in the deck. But we have the Stygian Spike. At least. We can play a big Forever Consumed. Let's play a Crypt Builder first. That amount of health is much more manageable. The combat will be short, so the Frostbite doesn't matter particularly. And there we go. Multi-strike doesn't matter if the combat never starts. Ember Cash again. Guardian Stone. No, I don't think we need that. I'm much more interested in this Urchin Spines actually. get some spell weakness. Helps us nuke bosses. We should usually be mostly fine against bosses. But we won't always be. Sometimes we might be a little short. I'm actually gonna put that on a blink. A blink damage matters. We have shown that. Cost reduction on the order making of a morsel wouldn't be bad. I think we pick up the permafrost, put that on the spike of the Stygian, so we will always have it against bosses, just in case we can't nuke them. I will put consume and 20 power on a blink. That is almost always a good idea. Cost reduce the making of a morsel as well before re-rolling. Double stack. Yeah. We have the energy, we have the amber caches. Sometimes there will just... That is now just our pretty much hard boss kill. So we can really make sure that these spells are ready to kill frontliners. Or backliners, sometimes. With the blinks especially. Cost... You know what? A cost reduction on the prison retrieval allows us to play for 0. And that might sometimes matter. Let's get the remaining train stewards out. Another foreground power first. I do like foreground powers, but I think 5 are way too many. 2 or 3 is where I'm comfortable with. We can't upgrade this right now, but I really like having it. Spikes, Regen, Rage. These are all buffs. And I think we are likely to use this as a buffing tool. Spikes can sometimes be helpful. We don't have backline clear. I want a spiky magic. Pull, push, descend. If it were ascent, yes. I don't think we want push. We don't want our spike unit to be pushed to the back, no matter what we do. I think having the pull effect is probably good more often than not. But you know what? I'm gonna leave it be. Create an effect that increases capacity or increases card draw. We already have the Space Prism for capacity. I don't think we are very starved for capacity here. I'm gonna go with the card draw. Apply spikes 5, draw 1 next turn. You know what? It's not the best spell ever, but it's good enough. The spikes will be very helpful. This fight might be rough. Really rough. Give me a... What do I want from this? Well, I don't really know. I was thinking about the sweeper, but that wouldn't survive for very long. I think we have to play the Lodestone Totem. So we skip the penance. Let's start with the blink though. Well, we at least hit one of the important targets. That is nice to have. A Coal Cellier. That might actually be helpful. It's a 1 capacity Coal Cellier. We could put it on the top. Give it one Primordium effect. And then switch it out with the Siren. Or we could have it in the bottom. Yeah, because the next wave we'll have 2 Absolvers. The Scepter. If it's the small Absolvers, we will be fine. Nah, it's one of the big ones. That is annoying. We do want you on the top. We want to play a morsel first there. We give up 1 incam for that. Worth it. And then I play the Siren first anyways. We don't need to keep the spike in hand just yet. Yep, the nightmare starts. Will not be able to incant a whole lot. You're basically useless with this much sap. The nightmare is going in full force. We silence you at least. Luckily we have some card draw here with these mosses. We're slowly getting to a point where we're not in a position to immediately die. We need spikes 5. Against this guy, it could be very useful. The statues make it very hard. Well, at least we don't have a statue to deal with on the bottom floor. So we can play like a forever consumed here. It's also +1 draw next turn, which makes it easier to deal with how these are. How? Oh yeah, the Lodestone Totem actually has 26 attack now, so that is neat. How do we deal with this wave? I guess Urchin Spines upgraded Blink. Play the morsel first. That was very effective. We have another one of these types of waves coming up. I want the incant on the top. Sapon fell as well. It is enough fell that it will stay a little bit into Relentless. Everyone already dies. Oh, we want to save our health. That is 45 a hit. It's good enough. Let's get some more spikes. I want the damage shield. Think we're in a good spot. It's only one hit. Ooh, that is a good draw. Extra damage shield and extra damage. Let's play this so we can actually get rid of these. Play another one actually. It's another spell. 7 spell shields on Fel. We probably won't be able to penetrate these. Unless we play a bunch of Blinks against her. We save this morsel. 155 and 114 health. You're doing 54 a turn, so we have 2 damage shields as well, so we have about 3 turns of combat. We need quite a bit of sap here. to be successful. Luckily we still have that Spike of the Stygian in the deck. Absorbing hits is so good here. That is 6 sap, 30 frostbite. That makes a huge difference. But it is really close. We get the kill with the stone or the spikes. Or the frostbite. That was an option too. Furnace Tap, Shroud Mitosis and Wretch. Why would it not be Wretch? It is Wretch. And we take draw now. Yeah. We need a bit more draw. If we wanna kill a meaningful amount of enemies with spells, then we need draw. Aggressive edible 3, especially now that we have the Wretch is really good. Is Runestone what we want? I think it's good. 3 roll. Large stone, huh? I could go with that. But I think it's better not to. We also give you some armor, just in case we have to finish like a fight with... I don't know. Frostbite? There is piercing again. This is now our backline killing card. We are at 180 shards right now. I'm a little bit worried about that. Yeah, let's take money. We'll be able to spend that favorably in the last ring. No problem. So we kind of have to go to the left there. We get removal, so it's pretty decent. No spell upgrades anymore though, but I think we're in a pretty good spot in terms of spell upgrades, so I'm not too sad about that. And there is a Divine Temple, so we could get some spell upgrades from that. I think Spikes is one of the better challenges for us. We don't have fragile backliners that would die to Spikes or anything, except for Primordium. This is everything but Crypt Builder. Do we yeah, we do generate a morsel first. Play first to avoid the Ember Drain. Was that the right morsel? We play both morsels. Paraffin Thug. Can we get even a single kill with this? That would be pretty neat. Maybe we can? Start buffing you with spikes and just get double incant, or... Yeah, it's not worth using 2 spells to kill 1 Wildwings here. Especially if we can get the Slay perhaps. I want to put you down first, I think, so that we can actually start gaining armor on you. Sure, the armor is not hugely impactful, but it still matters a little. We can protect this guy with morsels. Actually feed him even. Ember Cache, let's play the Prism Retrieval to draw our leftover Train Steward. Unless we want to just nuke you. 150. We only need 100 and... With the spell weakness, yeah, we don't even need 100. 80 will be enough. So we can play the Prism Retrieval. And now if you're dead, we don't care about the harvest anymore, because there's none. This wretch is exactly... It's exactly the wrong time for it. But I'm gonna get back my 4 morsels. Protect you. Ooh, lifesteal. That would have been kind of nice. Nice. Start with this, see what we draw. These in the deck. Could put a morsel here. Get another 20 gold. I think that's worth it. It's the final 20 gold I'm getting from this, but... Oh, you will actually die to frostbite. That is very much appreciated. So we don't have to deal with your harvest bullshit. Let's get the extra draw next turn and increase our spike numbers. This is fine. This guy dies. You still have harvest. Let's silence you. So we can actually try to blink some backliners. With success. We save the Stygian spike for the boss now. So we try not to discard it. Do we want lifesteal? It's not really doing much right now. Do we keep these things around? There are lots of them. The boss will come out next turn though. I'm gonna play 1 here. And just nuke you. Yep, play this on the top floor. And now we go off here. Play all of these. Generate some morsels as well. We have 11 eaten units, so we won't get back Primordium this turn. Sep 26, Frostbite 130. Now if that is not enough to deal with this boss, I don't know what is. This thing dies, doesn't prolong the combat. Stretch. We don't play these morsels. We don't mind if we draw back into them, but we won't because our deck still has decent number of cards. Yes, we put some on top of our deck as well. That was unavoidable here. But we get an additional Primordium. And there we go, we can fight against a helpless boss. They will gain some attack later, right? Nope, they did not. We keep picking those because they are good. I will take a second unnamed tome even. And multi-strike? Quick? Quick is not bad. But seeing quick first sucks because I want to reroll for multi-strike. Cuddlebeard, commemorative spikes, chain of gems. Commemorative spikes. Yeah, commemorative spike is kind of good because it triggers the Ember Drain on a morsel unit always. So we can just immediately set up without having to consider morsel things. Chain of gems is not necessary, nor is Cuddlebeard. Sketches. I don't think we do it, right? Yeah. Yeah, we don't. That is not great. Lightstone, yeah. Well, we can get some health on you. And my matter. It helps with the divinity. And then we reroll. We found multi-strike. That makes quite a difference. But I think it wasn't necessary here. Train Steward moves out. And one more foregone power also leaves the deck. 2 is a good number. You know what? I want another anti-weaklings weapon. If I go up to 205 shards to do so, I will. I don't think we will have many problems here. What would be our purchase now? I like having some foregone powers, like a small amount, although with the permafrost spike of the Stygian and the unnamed tomes, they are less exciting. I'm gonna purge another one, and I'm gonna purge a Plink. One of the unupgraded ones, of course. And the final unupgraded Plink, I guess. Make this deck a bit more lean and efficient. Although we do now have a few less spells to consume. But that might be okay. It did not trigger the Ember Drain. Why? Reforming a unit with hallowed halls to the top triggers Ember Drain, right? How is it worded? To the first unit played on the top floor each turn. Okay, maybe I was wrong. This is Space Prison first, so we don't consume Making of a Morsel, then Making of a Morsel, so we don't trigger Ember Drain. We didn't trigger Ember Drain. It does work, it just doesn't give this Morsel Miner Ember Drain. That is a super weird interaction. No idea why it works that way. Damn. That would have been nice if that hit any of those. Then we would have... No, it would have needed to hit the Light Wings. Purifiers, what do I do with you? Well, it's time to get the star of the show on the board. With 10 health. Luckily we do have the spells to take out this unit, so... But I don't want to consume the Titan's Gratitude. We have to here though, because... what will we draw? We will draw nothing. Oh, yeah. That's not useful at all. Drawing nothing. Do I keep this in the deck for later consume? Probably not. This wave, we need some damage. Oh no, that is not damage. Ember Cache for Sap. That is the one we want to consume. Pack morsels for sure. We can put the morsel in front to block. Again, Wretch in just the hand that we wanted to use. Just the hand before Primordium, rather. Let me think. I think we have the Spike of the Stygian and the Light Wings. For just 2? Silence the bottom floor, hit not just the Purifier but also Wild Wings. With only one morsel eaten, so we play that. There is no other way to survive. We're a little bit short on damage against these light wings. No, we are not. We have check strips. We will need more damage for this wave though. Well, we will get more damage with Primordium active. So are we just trying to absorb damage instead? I think that's the case. That wasn't what I wanted to draw, but I guess it's fine. Why did I keep the morsels in hand? I should have played them out. Pretty bad move right there. That might cost us. No purifiers on this wave. That is very nice to see. Can we survive this wave? We can. We can even kill the purifier. This guy dies. So we can keep the unknown named Tome for the next purifier. Ugh, making a light wings here. You. It's time to play these blinks. Hit Seraph with it, really? Nice, that is what we needed. Why are we not dealing damage to you? Spell weakness, sap, silence, rage 1. You are not killing us. Why are you not dying? You should be dying. We're hitting you for 300? Can anyone see why this Gilded Wing is not dying? I need to figure this out, because if this Gilded Wing gets past, we take a lot of damage. Gorge. Fuel! We are out of fuel! Oh. Okay. Luckily, we're not out of fuel for long. Thank you, peeps. I didn't see it. I forgot I had that on her. Let's refuel our siren. Silence you. And then we... You have spell weakness 2, so that's gonna be tripled, so we only need about 90 damage to kill you. A bit more than that, but... This is dealing 120 by base already. Let's get some spikes. Oh, yikes. Luckily we have a few spells we can cast here. Sadly we're not gonna do much damage to this Gilded Wing in the back. We will need to keep up fuel, that's for sure. Wretch will help us with that pretty handily. I guess that's a hit for 40. 260, 57 even. And then... We want that morsel to survive. We want the stats. Oh, that could be huge. That was huge. We killed Wildwings here. These blinks are actually pretty nice with the spell weakness stuff. Somehow we now kill everyone. Well, the backliners died to spikes, so it's not actually a surprise. This wave... well... it's a lot of health. But we have some spells that take care of that. Final wave. Spike of the Stygian is not in... yeah, it's not in the deck anymore. So we need to be able to survive Seraph. I'm gonna play at least one of these. And we are gonna go for Crypt Builder, I guess. I was planning to go with Forever Consumed, but Crypt Builder will do. Play one more of these so I can play this. Nuke you with Forever Consumed, and then I'm gonna keep the Excavated Embers in the deck. Want to play as many of them as possible to sap Seraph. I'm gonna play one to prevent the consume here. Okay, give me a good draw, I need some sap here. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Are we done for? Are we just gone with this draw? Yeah, that won't do. I made a few mistakes. I can win this fight, but I messed a few things up. Yeah, I need more sap on the boss, that is definitely true. Huh, different unit this time. Not very useful one, but I will take it. This blink is so disappointing. Yeah, we can discard the spike, right? We don't need it right now. Now we want sap on the boss. There is a prime opportunity for it. It is not actually, because we only have one spell to actually put sap on the boss. We want to increase our chance of discarding Crypt Builder. Well, I guess we play Prism Retrieval for the sap as well. Most of that sap is gonna be gone by the time they come up. But not all of it. Oh, that was a mistake. Shouldn't have played that there. We are still alive, but... oh, we're definitely in a rough spot. We are still alive. We do need to keep up fuel, that is important. Sap the boss. Trigger incant. These are some of the most important things that we can do here. Start with this actually. Five eaten units, yes. That means we can get back Primordium. Although do we wanna do that is the question. I think so. I think we still wanna do that. We need to make sure that these monsters actually die and that Seraph doesn't like spend too much time on them and gets rid of the of his sap. We will have a turn next. Yeah, next turn will be a good turn to get some more sap on the boss. You do need to play this one. We do need lifesteal, and I'm glad we have access to it. Yeah. And this time around we also have the Spike of the Stygian to help us. The Spike of the Stygian is what is gonna make the big difference. We don't want to kill both. Oh, actually we won't have this turn, huh? Yeah, this never kills both anyways, so... We definitely play this thing out. Incant. Maybe I should have played the M-Boss and tried to get a giant Spike of the Stygian out this turn. Maybe we can do so this turn instead. Okay, that looks very promising. Self-mutilation doesn't really matter. There will be 26 sap though, so we can play these out. Fuel will matter, so I am gonna play a blink. Another one actually. Then we sap the Seraph and that should win us the fight. Especially with another decent draw here. Oh, we already had it, so... Seraph is not allowed to attack. Whew! That was a tough fight. I didn't expect it to be so difficult. Oh, we get the Shard of the Divinity again. 100 armor on a pyre, nice. This run is making me thirsty. 100 armor for the pyre, that's gonna be very helpful. We do have the sap on the top floor, so Last Divinity won't be attacking for long. do need to play these pack morsels. I wonder if we're better off playing morsels instead of Primordium here, because Primordium still dies to the Last Divinity here. And save Primordium for later in the fight. That seems weird, but I think it's the way to go here. Our damage will scale much slower without Primordium, I can tell you that much. I want to use this when it really matters. We do have the luxury of doing so here. We silence the incants, so we can actually sap these guys, so they will just die to our pyre. That has piercing. Still gonna use it on the top. We can play Prism Retrieval to fetch Primordium now, and he doesn't immediately die. So now we get a 60 damage Primordium instead. That was actually quite good. This one... she's 1 health short of getting to attack on this floor. And on this floor there is no way. These guys will move to the pyre, but they won't get to attack with their sap on. I think we Urchin Spines and then Plink. We block these hits with the Siren. No, not the Siren, the Morsels. We can actually destroy someone here. It's not the best unit to target, but we need to get it out of the way. Don't want to harvest shenanigans. I'm gonna get these monsters killed before more harvesters show up. I might need Spike of the Stygian to deal with like chains. This is probably the turn where we play the Spike. Very possible. I don't think Divinity will ever be a problem, because we're just stacking sap on them. So I could just throw that on Spike. Chains. Kinda wish we could keep 1 energy for the Titan's Gratitude, but I don't want to play the Titan's Gratitude and discard the Spike here. That will be pretty bad. Yeah, Primordium dies to the Spikes, which means we can't reform him. But we gained enough power. With the 60 attack, that was definitely good. Definitely quite good for us, I would say. Was hoping to discard the Crypt Builder, of course, but we didn't. It's fine. Well, these things don't matter as much anymore. I like having the sap on chains for sure. Okay, that wasn't bad. Bring back some morsels. I'm not strong enough to one-shot these Gilded Wings. But we will have 6 cards. Crypt Builder forever consumed, it won't be a problem. Just stack stats. These guys don't have harvesters in them either. So we can just fill up this floor with morsels. I think we might just be good now. I don't think there's anyone who can threaten us. Although High Priest of the Light with 5 spell shield might get close. But I don't think it will be a problem. What's your damage? 13? Yeah. Yeah, we sap that easily. Spikes. Nothing is ever gonna attack us. Well, that's not entirely true. These guys are attacking us, so... This wave is probably the most dangerous one, with the spell shield, the incant. I have to sap it, even if I give them armor. It's only spell shield 1, so we can... Yeah, actually pushing this guy to the back isn't the worst thing. Oh, piercing. Nice! Ah, these blinks are so good. I want to say a very large thanks to the Mollusk Mage in here, who has really helped make the blinks this good. And not just the blinks, the attune spells as well. We don't have to deal with the bottom wave at all, because next turn will be relentless. We don't have piercing damage to deal with the High Priest. That's not true, we have a blink. But yeah, like, doesn't make a huge difference. That wasn't the smartest move. I now have 2 morsels on the top of my deck. Zap them down to 0. And now we should just win. We might need to play a few spells to zap this wave, but probably not even necessary. Yeah, figured. There we go. Okay, I think this was my first really successful incant based deck. Was it my first? The DLC? Not really. But I had many... I often had trouble with incant based decks. This one worked because I had Sap, the Lodestone Totem, is a big part of why this worked. We also have piercing spells, so we could actually deal with armored and damage shielded units. These blinks did a lot of work. Forever consumed, Spike, Siren of the Sea, and one more. The one more was a Stygian card. No Crypt Builder, we already had that. It was Titan's Gratitude. Titan's Gratitude, Spike of the Stygians, and Siren of the Sea. Yeah, Lodestone Totem was a big part of why this worked. Also the Mollusk Mage helped a lot. 10 magic power on the floor is more impactful than I gave it credit for. Doesn't mean we should always pick up Mollusk Mages, but in a deck that has a lot of multi-hit spells like Blinks and the tune spells like Crypt Builders and Titan's Gratitude, it's definitely a significant effect. We also had another way of scaling the Siren instead of just incant. So we could scale her a bit faster than usual. Because we were able to create a lot of, especially the morsel miners, that gave a big stat boost to the Siren. So playing a making of the morsel wasn't just +2/+2, it was +7/+7 oftentimes. That was also part of the thing that made this work. We also had lots of energy to play with stuff, so we could often play Crypt Builders just like this, without having to discard them. We often weren't able to discard them, because I cut the foregone powers pretty aggressively. But they don't really do well with Spiker of the Stygian, nor do they well with other random discard cards, so while they are pretty good cards to incant with, because they cost 0, they actually do cost you 2 cards oftentimes. Unless you only have 1, then you can play it last. Which is why I like having only like 2 or 3 of them, so you won't clutter your hand with them. And then still, it's mostly for incant purposes. The Frostbite didn't matter much in this deck. So yeah, I'm pretty happy I cut most of them here. Yeah, that was a good run. Seraph definitely gave us some trouble, mostly because we weren't well prepared to deal with the Scorch units, with the Purifiers. We only had the upgraded Blinks to deal with them, and they were, as Blinks tend to be, unreliable. But yeah, we managed to win in the end, after one restart with on Seraph, to adjust our strategy a little bit and not waste the Stygian spike.